the bean counters have to test guys. There has to be a test on paper. It has to be done twice a year, and you've got to have a way. We say measures of effectiveness and measures of performance, and the Army loves to just look at the measures of performance, which is, did your company pass the PT test? Yes, that's a measure of performance. Versus the measure of effectiveness, is the test effective to begin with? Does it show
The
that we're
tests
combat
show
effective?
us what we need to know about combat readiness.
Right. And no. But the Army combat fitness test, like I said, they've tried to figure this out. It's just they've gotten a lot of bad input. But one of the main most of our problem is guys getting injured. Like I said,
Right.
I had an MRI done. They said I had 3 herniated discs. I know that's kind of silly, but at age 23, okay,
Yeah.
that should not be happening. You should not be
No, it
23.
shouldn't
And we
be
got
happening.
19-year-old kids with hip injuries. And so the new Army PT test, the Army Combat Fitness test, they put right up there at the top. It's to enhance unit readiness and help soldiers avoid injury. So that's their measure of performance. Okay, well, we're going to pass this test and make guys train for it. But how effective is it? Are we going to go measure VA disability ratings for the next 10 to 20 years and see if we've actually had a decrease in hip and back injuries? Like, probably not. But
No, I don't
if you
think you're
got
going
guys
to.
stronger and you measured that, you would see a hell of a lot less freaking back and knee and hip injuries.
You could do the same testing while changing the PT. And that would actually tell you a whole bunch that you don't know right now, wouldn't it? You go to my version of the prep test. I mean, of the preparatory work that we're doing with deadlifting and squats and presses and chins and the 400 meter, and you do the same test on that preparation background and see what works better. This can be determined, but it won't ever happen because these guys are not going to do anything different than they've ever done, because that requires a certain level of them admitting that maybe they were doing something wrong.
Right. And there's plenty of outside agencies that are doing a lot of their own research. I'm not going to name them because I'm also going to shit on them, but the Army's not going to perform those tests and those studies. The VA is not going to conduct those studies, but all these outside institutions that are measuring like combat fitness and stuff, they would be the groups to do that, to show the results. It's the same people that tested the Army's new combat fitness test. They developed the Rangers. There's like a special U.S. Army Ranger assessment test. It's kind of cool, but these groups, they're caught up in this functional fitness crap.
Yeah.
So we will, like the Army says, we gotta build people's core up to prevent back injuries, and it's like, yeah, we need a stronger core. All right, so we're gonna
You
roll
need
on
to
the
get your
floor and do
deadlift up
planks
to
and
405. You need to get your
no,
deadlift up.
their answer is to have you roll on the floor doing freaking planks and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Because
just so.
if you
I
can
mean,
if you can squat twice your body weight, that doesn't mean you have a strong core. You got to be rolling around on the
oh
floor.
no! You've got to be able to do a 15-second plank. Who can't do a 15-second plank that squats and deadlifts?
Well, that's actually one of the new. That's one of the on the Army Combat Fitness test. There is a plank event, and you got guys training 5-minute planks to max that. I think the max is like 3 minutes if you plank 4, and it's like, all right, well, if the guy, like you said, if the guy has the strength numbers, I'm pretty sure he has a pretty strong core. I mean,
he's got a. We don't ever even say the word core because it's so fucking stupid. We don't use the word in our curriculum at all because it's just crowd speak. It's like everything's a journey now. You ever notice that? Everything's a journey. My strength training journey. Shut the fuck up. Core shit. You take your journey and your core and go the fuck away, please. All right. But
it's a buzzword.
that's all it is. Get your squat up, get your deadlift up, get your press up, and guess what gets strong? Everything. Because all of it is involved in those 3 exercises. All of it. And if the numbers go up on those 3 movement patterns, then everything contributing to those movement patterns got strong too. And guess what that also involves is all of the muscles that surround your spine. Because spinal stability is a feature of all 3 of those movement patterns. And it increased in stability 5 pounds at a time because you added that weight to the bar. Do it. And everything that contributes to that stability increases incrementally over time with correct training. So it's not necessary to talk about separate pieces of the body. This is one of the primary differences between our method and everybody else's method. It addresses body parts. We don't address body parts. We address movement patterns, the way the human body functions in its environment. There are only a few basic bilateral movement patterns, and we train all of those with barbells. So everything that contributes to those movement patterns gets strengthened. And it's not technical. I mean, yeah, coaching a correct deadlift is kind of technical, but people can learn that. Anybody that can learn how to manipulate a guided missile system can learn how to coach a deadlift. Okay, and the same is true with squats and presses. Yes, there are subtleties that must be mastered in terms of making observations of what the lifter is doing and comparing those observations with the model of the lift, and then telling the lifter what to do to fix it. Okay, but if you can operate a guided missile system, then you probably are capable of doing this too. The institutional glue here is just absolutely amazing. They're not willing to consider even a logical analysis that would make what they're trying to get done easier to do. Join us this week for Starting Strength Radio. We talk to Randall of gruntproof.us. That's gruntproof.us about military readiness, PT in the military, and associated topics. It's an interesting discussion. It points out some rather important holes in the system and what we think needs to be done to fix that. This coming Friday on Starting Strength Radio. See you there.